explicit videos. I will not. Well, you said it, not me. And we're back.
Start over. Go ahead.
It's the most
wonderful time of the year.
of the beer.
It is the most wonderful time of the year, guys. It's the holidays, and it's the Florida Gambling Boys show on YouTube.
It's college football playoffs time.
It's playoff time.
It's almost NFL playoff time. Let's go.
How wonderful. We got football
Let's go.
tonight. We had it last night. We got Friday college playoffs, Saturday playoffs, Saturday NFL, Sunday NFL, Monday night. It's fantastic. The magnificent one, Sean Mayall, joined by Super Dave Kretz and
He
Midwest
does
Tommy
exist.
Tice.
He does.
How come I have like the Midwest? He's super. You're magnificent.
Oh, you chose your nickname.
I did not choose anything. You gave me that nickname.
It's what you call self-gloss.
You gave me that nickname. Okay, we're just gonna go on from there.
Pish
But okay.
posh. Pish posh. Let's
Anyways,
move
hope
on.
everybody's staying warm wherever you're watching this from and getting ready for the holidays, got your shopping done. We are going to dive right into it, guys. We've been waiting all year for this 12-team playoff, and it's finally here. The opening round, we got 4 games kicking off Friday night, and we have Indiana traveling the full 2 hours to South Bend.
To South Bend, yes.
Halfway there.
Notre Dame, an 8.5-point favorite. The total, for some reason, has crept up to 52.
Which I think is a lot for
The weather.
they
Yeah.
could be experiencing.
I don't get it. But, Tom, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on breaking this game down?
Well, Crazy Signetti, which I love him, but he's crazy. He said, you can have 10 inches of snow, we don't care, we got a quarterback from Canada.
Right.
That was his nomenclature going into this game. I like Notre Dame to win, but I do not like them to cover the 8.5.
Okay.
I think Notre Dame has a really big offensive line. I think they'll be able to. I mean, they have 2 really good running backs too. I think they'll be able to move the football. But I think Indiana can score points.
Well, we know they can score points, but can they, depending on the elements, can they throw the ball?
If the field's clear, they can throw the ball. Notre Dame has been susceptible in the defensive backfield all year. Their front 7 is what's outstanding. Okay, so we have to look at if they shut down, Indiana's running game, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But if Indiana can run the football early on Notre Dame's going to be in a world of hurt.
I don't know if they can run the ball in Notre Dame, though. I really don't.
I don't know. They're just so big.
Here's the thing, and you can disagree with me if you want. Yes, there's film on Indiana this year, but in big game, we only seen them once.
Well, against Ohio State, against a really good front 7, they only ran for 67 yards.
Bingo.
So we don't know.
If we call Ohio State a really good front seven.
Well, they're in the playoff.
They're in the playoffs, and they have the 5th-ranked defense in the country, so don't go there. They lost a game that they shouldn't have lost. It is what it is, so don't be a dick.
It is what it is.
Would that be against Michigan?
Zing
Yeah, it would be against Michigan. But I think Ohio State's front 7 will be able to handle Indiana's running game.
Considering it's not Ohio State, it's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana's going to move the ball like they have in previous games, and this is not a cupcake they're playing. This isn't Purdue or Charlotte or anything like that.
Yeah, I just think Indiana covers the 8.5.
Okay. Dave, what do you think?
That's all I can tell you.
You want to watch Hoosiers or you want to watch Rudy?
Bingo.
Which one makes you feel better? Me personally,
Rudy.
Rudy was a lie.
Rudy was not a lie.
Rudy was a lie.
Rudy was not a lie.
He was offsides. You know it. We know it.
He was not a lie.
I'm going Indiana. Indiana's got the number 2 offense. Notre Dame's got the number 3 offense currently. But they're both top 6 in defense. And South Bend.
So you think Indiana's going to walk into to South Bend and beat them?
They're not going to walk in.
They're going to bust
strut.
up.
They're going to strut.
Yeah, because of your crazy Italian coach, Signetti. So you think they're going to strut in there?
Not my crazy Italian coach.
You're rooting for him.
I'm German, Dutch, and English.
You're rooting for them.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
So you're
you're
taking
backing
Indiana. You're taking Indiana.
Indiana. I will take Indiana and no points.
Okay.
I love your coach. I love Notre Dame's style and everything else, but they took it on the mouth. Took their losses to Ohio State and this and that, but Cignetti, he can back it up. It's playoff time.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother ball game right
Here's
now.
what I think. If Indiana comes into this game and wins this football game, I think that really solidifies him as one of the better coaches in college football.
Well, he's probably coach of the year.
Now you're already making excuses.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, if that happens, I think Cignetti comes out as one of the really good coaches and a really great field story if he gets to the second round.
Look, win, lose, or draw, this has been a phenomenal season for Indiana football and has elevated them to the next level that I don't think they even thought that they would get to this year.
Yeah.
For a basketball school, they're doing a hell of a job in college football.
Hell yeah.
Great job.
Absolutely great
job.
I've got no play on this game. I'm going to enjoy watching it. I do have a play on the total, and we'll get into that later on. And it's probably one of my favorite plays of the weekend.
I like the under.
Yeah.
I like the under a lot.
We'll move on to Saturday.
Missing the teaser.
We'll start with SMU at Penn State. Penn State's an 8.5-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the total off the top of my head, but
Over under 53 and a half.
53 and a
that
half.
was last week when I looked it up.
Yeah,
Again-
actually, Dave this morning was still 53 and a half.
So it hasn't
again,
changed.
we may be talking weather. It's going to be cold in Happy Valley.
And snow, by the way.
Yeah, I thought an interesting fact, and I think we may have talked about it yesterday, with this stupid transfer portal opening so early, Penn State has no backup quarterback. God forbid something happens to Allard. Their backup quarterback's already entered the portal, and he's not playing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I just, it's interesting. And they do use him in certain sets because he's very mobile. And they'll take Allard out when they want to look at a different look on offense, and they'll run him. And he's a great athlete, but he's out. I just think that's something to look at. I'm not saying it definitely plays a role in the game. Could. Dave, what are your thoughts here?
Ooh, it's gonna be cold.
Yep.
It's gonna be cold. It's Penn State. A little bit of a warm front ish. Like it's gonna be 34.
Yeah, balmy.
Now, Penn State has the number 9 rush defense.
Yes, they do.
They can run, they can pass. They got a couple bad losses. 45-37 versus Oregon, 20-13 versus Ohio State. SMU's quarterback, Jennings, 310 passes, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. He can rally. He can rally
Oh, we
like
saw
he
what
did
they
against
did against
Clemson.
Clemson, yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna go against. I love Penn State. I love their talent. I hate James Franklin's management of the clock.
You and I agree
So,
100% on this.
The 9 points. The 9 points. I'm taking SMU 100% because James Franklin will screw it up somehow. He might win the game, but he's not.
You're taking SMU.
I'm taking SMU with the points
Yeah, and
because James Franklin won't be able to cover the spread. SMU's coming out to show you something.
Again, they're a team like
crazy
Indiana.
happy
Nobody
valley.
thought SMU would be in the college football
but
playoff.
my concern going into this game is SMU has a ton of speed,
They do.
and we're talking like big time speed. So
They have SEC Southern speed. What
Correct.
happens when it gets cold?
Right.
That's why I'm not saying SMU's going to lose. I'm saying James Franklin's not going to cover this goddamn spread.
oh, he's not. There's no way he's going to cover the spread.
That's all I'm
I think Penn State wins this game, but I think SMU makes it very, very, very interesting, only because of their speed. And I think the corners, if Penn State really wants to win this game and cover this spread, these corners have to come up, play man-to-man, and shut down these receivers. That's the only thing I'm telling you.
Well, SMU can do it both ways on offense. They can run the ball.
But it's
They
going to be
can
hard
throw
to
the
run the
ball.
ball against this front seven.
But
We know
SMU,
that.
again, they do have the speed, and they are not a smash it up the middle type. They want to hit
No.
the corners
No, yeah, they want to hit
Right.
the edges.
and get outside.
Well, then what they do is they put their players in a position on the outside to make plays. For speed.
I don't know if I'm taking SMU because I have a lifelong hatred for Penn State as a Pitt Panther fan. But,
Wham,
well, Penn State's owned Pitt over the years. That's what it is.
I like SMU to cover.
I
That's
do
all
too.
I can tell you.
I'm on SMU here. I take the points and see what happens. 4 o'clock Saturday, Clemson at Texas. Texas is a 10.5-point favorite. Not sure I understand the line. We know that
Don't
Texas
be
has
sad.
played Georgia twice.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
Dabo Sweeney's last stand. Texas blows this team out.
But has Texas shown they can blow anybody out?
It's a good football
competition.
team.
It's good competition.
It's a good football team, and I think they beat Clemson up physically. They just beat them up. They wear them down in the second half. You're going to see a 37-17, 32-14 type football game here.
I mean, Texas
Clemson-
thoroughly disappointed me in the SEC championship.
Well, yeah.
The under was great, love that. But first half under was great. But Texas, to lose in overtime to a backup quarterback for Georgia.
But we saw what Georgia did to Clemson. We know what.
Yeah.
We know what Texas is going to do to Clemson. They're going to blow them.
But I think Clemson has gotten progressively better as the year has gone on.
They're not physical. They can't beat Texas up.
Clemson is good enough to be good in the ACC for whatever is left
Right.
of the ACC.
Right.
Let's go ahead and say, Dabo, you got work to do if you're sticking around.
Right.
I just think the number might, and especially when you get 10.5,
No, I think Texas covers that in a heartbeat. It's just my own humble opinion.
I think that it's
Dave, what do you think?
enough
They cover
for
that
me-
number?
11 in Texas, at Texas.
I think it's easy. It's easily done.
I'm gonna call it a no. I'm gonna call it Texas walks away with this. Sark knows. Sark's seen it. He's played the game.
So you're saying Texas is going to cover that number?
Clemson's defense is plus 16 in the turnover margin. Who have they played?
Exactly. They played the
55,
Georgia got blown out.
55% completion.
Yeah, they played the Dukes. They played the Wake Foresters.
Yeah,
They're not. They
play
haven't
it.
played a Texas.
Nah, Texas. This is strictly defense.
Yeah.
They lost to Louisville. I mean, Louisville's not a world beater.
Clemson,
They're good, but they're not great.
Clemson is 106th in the nation in yards per carry allowed on defense. 106th in the nation. Texas defense, 7th EPA per rush, 2nd overall in the country, and they allow 4.1 yards passing per drop back.
Right.
Texas's defense will smother.
That's what I said. So you think
Smother, cover, I mean, go to Waffle House, extra cheese, extra onions. Them
my bottom line
Longhorns, the Longhorns covering them Tigers, call it a
Okay.
day.
You think that 10.5 is an easy cover? I think it's an easy cover to me too.
Yeah.
I think it's a 37-10.
It's not a play for me.
As long as not too many people put the horns down and hurt too many feelings.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that horns
See,
down.
to
Those
me,
poor babies
Texas,
in Austin.
Texas is the play for me. I think that's easy money out of all these 4 games.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
the
I'm gonna
easiest one to
stay
pick.
away with it.
Moving,
And if I
moving
had to,
forward with Texas is a different story.
Now-
After that, yeah, it's a whole different story.
I will
but
say-
this
Yeah.
matchup is a joke.
Clemson,
I will
Clemson
say-
coming to Austin is a problem.
Oh,
for Clemson.
a
Good
gun to
Lord.
my head, if I had to make a pick, I would probably side with Clemson getting the 10.5. But it is not a play for me. Won't get any of my action. Now at night, we got the big one. We've got Tennessee at the Shoe playing Ohio State. Lines come down a half point from 7.5 to
to
7.
7. Yep.
Tom, I'll start with you being our resident Buckeye expert.
As a Buckeye fan, I'd be very concerned about this football game, and I'm going to tell you why. You could not run the football against Michigan. Now, Michigan's front seven from week 5 to week 12 improved dramatically.
Sure.
That was the most improved front seven in probably all of college football. But Tennessee's front seven
Loaded.
is way better than Michigan's front seven. So my concern is if Ohio State cannot run the football and Will Howard is forced to throw the football, even though he has all these All-American wide receivers, and you're getting pressure on him from an offensive line that quite honestly has been slapped together all year.
I think they're going to have 2 starters out in this game too.
Well, they've had 2 starters out all year. So you're going to have an offensive line that's slapped together. I think Ohio State really struggles in this game, and I think would not be a play for me at all. But Ohio State, they may sneak and win, but they're not covering that 7. This is a good Tennessee football team.
It is. Dave, go ahead.
Tennessee's playing solid front 7 defense. Solid.
That's why I said the front 7's outstanding.
100%, but they can also run it. And they learned exactly what they need to do with a bad Michigan team beating Ohio State. If Ohio State wants to come play Big Ten ball, if they want to come play Big Ten ball and try and run at them, try and prove how tough they are,
They're going to lose.
they're going to lose.
You got that right.
He is fired up today.
Ohio State's only chance, play Oregon ball. Spread
Get
them
to the
out.
outsides. Spread them out, get to the outside.
Well, if Chip
You're
Kelly
exactly
doesn't
right.
game plan to get Jeremiah Smith involved, he's a bigger
Well, not only
dummy.
that, but in Backwell, you got Tate, you got all these kids, you got
Look,
the tight end that's,
if Ohio State wants to prove
how tough they
they're
are,
tough
they're going to lose.
against an SEC team, Tennessee's going to smoke them.
You got that right. So
You're
it
on
all
Tennessee?
depends on on the game plan.
I'm on Tennessee.
I'm on Tennessee to cover.
Ryan Day
Could
lost.
they win outright? Yeah, I think so.
Ryan Day lost the locker room by watching
I think Tennessee.
watching the brawl for the flag planting fiasco.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee
Ryan
covers, and I think they also
Nah, I think Tennessee
probably just
smokes
wins
them.
the game. I really do.
And
Look,
this
you
is
never
no-
bet
this
a
is
dog
nothing
unless you
against-
think they got a chance to win outright.
What's that?
You never bet a dog unless you think they got a chance to win outright.
No, I think they have
And
a
I
chance
think
to win
this
this
fits that
game.
scenario. They
That's just my own
could win.
humble opinion. Now, it all comes down to how many mistakes the quarterback from Tennessee makes. I don't know his name. Maliaga, whatever it is. Because this kid is prone to
Nico
throwing.
Iamaleava. I started it
But here's the thing, Dave, with him.
with this show.
If they shut down the Tennessee run early, which I think, Ohio State front 7 can. That's a good front 7. So if they force Tennessee to throw the football, Ohio State's got enough good defensive backs to make plays on the football to give Ohio State opportunities for their offense to win. But it all comes down, once again, once you get an opportunity, wherever it's at 30 to 50, inside the red zone, you still have to be able to move players and run the football.
All right,
And I don't know if they can do that against Tennessee. I just
You
don't.
two are on Tennessee. I'm on Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'll take the 7. Which Nico do we see? We see Nico from the first 5 weeks of the year when his stats were through the roof?
Or
Or
the
do we
last
see
4
Nico
weeks.
from the last 5-6 weeks where he was pedestrian at best?
He got beat up by SEC
He
competition.
did. He's had some
and
time to heal here. And with enough time to game plan and enough film watching, I think Tennessee hangs with them. I'll take Tennessee plus the 7. So all 3 of us were on SMU, and all 3 of us are on Tennessee.
Right.
Interesting.
So, just to get our picks straight, are we all on Texas to cover
It's a no play for me.
the 10.5?
It's a no play for me.
Texas smokes them.
I think they
2
smoke
Texas
too.
and a pass.
Now, the Notre Dame game, you and I have talked about. Are you a Notre Dame on this one or no?
Hoosier.
Yeah.
I think Indiana
Hoosier.
covers, but I think they lose.
And I'm on the total. So,
I don't like the total in that game.
well, it's one of my better plays, but I'll give it out now anyways. I'm on the under.
I'm on the under. Okay, I thought you meant the over.
Well, yeah, the under.
No.
The under's what, 50?
52 now.
52. That's way under.
Hey, it's cold outside. But Signetti, he told you. Watch his YouTube videos.
He goes, I got a Canadian quarterback. He's played in a foot of snow. That's what Signetti said.
Well,
I loved it. It was great.
And
It
we
was
may have a
outstanding.
foot of snow tomorrow. You never know.
They could.
They're calling for bad weather. So.
I'm not putting my heart into this Indiana team. I'm just putting my money into it.
I like them to cover.
Because the hell, I've heard enough of Notre Dame. I've heard enough of Ohio State. Bring the Hoosiers out of basketball into football. Let's go.
I think it's a great story. I think SMU and Indiana
I like
are both
Indiana to
good.
cover.
And I think Arizona State next week, while chances are they get smoked by Texas.
Oh, I don't like that game at all.
Arizona State.
Oh,
Texas will beat them to death.
But I think Arizona State, Indiana, and SMU are all great
We'll talk about
stories.
that next week. but
I was gonna say
Texas will beat that team to death.
Scagnetti, what's his name?
Oh, the running back?
Scatabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, let me talk to you about Scatabo next week. I'm not going to talk about Scatabo.
That's fine.
Well,
He's had a phenomenal year.
He's resting is what he's doing.
5.93 yards per carry.
If it wasn't for Genti up in Boise, he'd be the best running back in the nation.
5.93 yards per carry. Is that what he's averaging?
Something around there, yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at him today. I'm like, Retro.
I just don't think they have the horses defensively to match up with Texas. So we'll get into that next.
But every now and
that's a
then.
next weeker.
One other game, what I would consider probably the best bowl game this week, although Tuesday night's Memphis, West Virginia was at least entertaining. And last night was an easy win with UNLV. But Friday we have Florida and Tulane being played here in Tampa in our backyard.
Florida's going to blow them out.
The Gators are 9-point favorite.
Florida's going to blow them out. This is the next level they need to get to.
I agree.
And if you look at what they've lost in the portal, it's been hardly anything.
And they've got a ton of NIL money this year from all the money they didn't use to buy out Billy
They've only
Napier.
lost 6 players to the NIL, and none of them were significant. So I love that.
Yeah, I'm on the Gators here.
Oh,
That's
God,
a play
yes.
for me this
That's
week.
big.
I'll lay the 9.
I'll lay the 9.5 for sure on Florida. The other game I like tomorrow, it's a noon game. The MAC, OU. The MAC schools don't lose bowl games.
No.
They don't. I mean, they win all their bowl games. They're playing Jacksonville State. OU's a 2.5-point favorite. They blow them out.
I would lean that
Orlando.
way. I mean, Jacksonville State, first bowl, good story. Congratulations.
Yeah, you get your bowl game, blah, blah, blah.
Grab your parting
OU
gifts
goes in
and
there.
go home.
OU has not lost one player yet to
The portal.
the portal. Not one. That's why I like this OU team. They have a
I
young
can see
coach.
that.
They have a
I
really
have no
good
problem
young
with that.
coach. They brought in a great recruiting class. I think there's a lot of fever there. I just like OU to just blow Jacksonville.
I honestly haven't looked at anything with Jacksonville State or Kennesaw State or Sam Houston State. These new
I
teams.
just know what the MAC does. What they do is they play Wisconsin, they play Iowa, they play this at the beginning of the
You
season.
know the conference, so it's a good fit.
But they get their asses kicked the first 3 weeks.
It's all right. They take their lumps and makes them better for the
They
end of
take
the
their
year.
lumps, and then the good ones end up going, 8-3,
Yeah.
and they go to a bowl game, and whoever they play, they kick the crap out of because they get a cheaper team.
I would lean with you on Ohio. I don't know if it's a play for me or not. We'll see. But I'm on the Gators. Any thoughts on the Gators, Dave?
Say I'll take the green wave. Green wave.
It's a lot of points. I think Florida needs to win this to build on.
That's the problem. Is Florida needs it. That's why Tulane don't need to win it.
No.
They're already good enough.
Yeah, I think the Gators
Academically.
need to win it to build on what momentum
Yeah,
they
I
have for
think
the end of the
you know,
year.
they won 4 of their last 6. They did a
Because
nice
just-
job.
Is this the coach you need, Florida? Probably not. You're like the Bears.
Well, he's not getting fired though.
You're not getting fired, but we'll keep you around for the next year
But here's the thing, though.
and a half.
This game will say a lot about Billy Napier if he wins tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Because if he's able to keep this team together and not lose a lot of transfers and go in and beat Tulane, you know, they're only a 2.5-point favorite. So if he's able to go in and do that, that's
No,
a
the
big
Gators are a 9-point favorite.
9.5-point favorite. I'm sorry. So if you go in and do that and you win that game, that's huge for the University of Florida. You end up what, 7-6? No, they lost 5. So
Yeah, they're 7-5 right now.
yeah, so you end up 8-5, which is a hell of a lot more wins than we thought when we looked at that schedule.
Oh, at the beginning of the year, when they had that 5-game stretch.
But we're all saying in August, oh God, they'll be lucky to win 3 games. Now all of a sudden you're going to be 8-5. This is a nice thing for Florida to go to the next level.
I agree. Get them back to national prominence.
Yeah.
So that's our conference breakdown. And next
Dave,
week,
what do you have to say about that?
8-5 is not national prominence in
No,
the SEC.
what I'm
you
saying
got to
is-
take the right steps to
Dude,
get back to
you
that.
got to step on the ladder and take steps up. And this is what they're doing. Okay, they're starting this thing all over from scratch.
And
basically.
DJ
How many
Lagway's
times have
healthy
they
to play
started
tomorrow
over
night.
from scratch, though? That's
But here's a good start though. 8-5 is a great start.
Absolutely.
who's
Coming
the top of the mountain? Kirby Smart.
Yeah, Kirby's great.
You want to get it? You want to get anywhere? Kirby Smart. Next.
And I'm not a Florida fan,
And
but
Florida
what I'm telling you
if
is,
Florida hung with Georgia, they could have beat Georgia this year.
what I'm telling you,
Coulda, woulda,
did.
shoulda.
I'm not a Florida
But
fan.
when Tulane beats them, is it scrap it and start over?
No.
Or
No.
7-6 year.
No, but what I'm telling you is, you got to start somewhere.
That's right.
Alright.
I agree.
Okay, and you got to build from somewhere. And like the greatest building block for Michigan going forward was them kicking the shit out of Ohio State physically this year. Tell me, am I right or am I wrong? That's the greatest building block going into 2025.
Yeah.
They know that. They know they can do it. So guess what? Nothing else matters. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, I agree with you.
everything matters when it comes to that.
But what I'm saying is,
there's a difference in if Florida is actually going to do something in the SEC and build something in the SEC versus what Alabama has created and what Georgia has is an entirely different story.
oh, I understand
You want
that.
to talk Michigan, Ohio State?
No, but you got to start here, and you got to move your way up.
They're making the
If you're
right
Billy
progression.
Napier, you got to do the right thing and win this game and go forward. You can't all start up here.
I agree. I agree.
We've all heard about being born on third base.
We have. Some
Well,
guys
look,
have.
that's our college football breakdown. Obviously, next week we'll have different games as we get into round 2 of the playoffs.
Yep, sure
And
will.
we add in the top 4 seeds being Oregon, Georgia, Boise, and somehow Arizona State. So let's move on to the pros. And guys, just so you know, obviously we do our show on Wednesdays normally. We had to adjust schedules to make it happen today, so we moved it to Thursday. And next week, with it being Christmas, will be Thursday next week. And I'm guessing maybe even the week after, with it being New Year's Day on
Probably,
Wednesday,
yeah.
We'll probably be, so the next couple of weeks will be on Thursdays.
We
It doesn't
could
matter what day,
live
we
cast
bring
it.
you winners.
What's that?
We could live cast. Oh well, you guys don't have the. We could live cast it from our phones.
No, not on New Year's Day.
Nah.
Not happening.
So look, let's get to the pros. I don't think it's a bad card this week. We got some pretty decent matchups. Starting tonight, Denver, San Diego, possibly 2 playoff teams. Chargers got humiliated last week at home by the Bucks. And we'll get to Tampa in a little bit.
It was the best game Tampa's played all year.
Denver did not look good at home, yet they cruised to an easy win over a pedestrian Colts team. I don't even think the Broncos had 200 yards of offense last week. But yet they won by 11 and covered. So, having said that, do you have any interest in tonight's game, Dave?
Harbaugh, love to see what he's building. Love to see what he's doing. I think it's a little early.
I am all over the Chargers tonight.
But on the flip side, what Bo Nix is doing for Denver,
I get it.
Sean Payton, I think Bo Nix is that diamond in the rough.
He's really
Yeah,
good.
he's good.
He's really good, Dave.
He's got the size, he's got the ability, and this and that.
Yeah.
And in terms of gambling, I would just say no.
I like the Chargers
I got no,
to
okay.
cover this 3 tonight at home. Only
Cover it
because
for
it's
this, cover it for that.
It's a must-win for the Chargers.
It's a must-win for either.
No, it really isn't for a must-win for Denver. It really isn't. They can still sneak in a wild card.
They would
Chargers.
they would try to sneak into the 7th seed.
Yeah, but the
Right.
Chargers, if they lose tonight, it's done. It's over.
Well, the
Because
Chargers are 9 and
Oh.
5.
no, the Chargers are 8
Or
and
8 and
6.
6. That's right.
The
Lost to
Broncos
Tampa,
are
I
9
think.
and 5. They'd be a game over them if they win tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Chargers have to win this game. Just stay competitive within that wild card, 6 to 7.
Gotcha.
So I think at home they do that. I think Harbaugh figures out a way to win this game.
I think it's intriguing. It's a battle of two Oregon quarterbacks. Nix has done nothing but his progression's been fantastic throughout the year. Herbert is a phenomenal quarterback, but he has no playmakers in San Diego. Get the guy a friggin' receiver or two in the offseason.
He's not in San Diego, he's in Los Angeles.
I mean, it's just
Same way.
Well, I mean, I like Ladd
Same
McConkey, but
place.
Ladd McConkey's a possession guy. He needs a number one to go to. You know, you look at last year, he had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
He's got his number one. His name is Jim Harbaugh.
No, but you don't catch passes and break game breakers for touchdowns, though.
Nah, but you play defense and you run the rock, and that can make the difference.
I believe J.K. Dobbins is out again tonight, so it's going to be Gus Edwards at running back.
The Gus Bus.
I'm on the under here. I got it at 40.5 this afternoon as I played.
Yeah, I saw it 42. So yeah.
Thursday night football, 90% of the time, just go ahead and bet. Just
You
call
might,
it under.
you might see
Call it
13,
under.
Just call it
13,
under.
13-9 tonight.
I think the most fun game of the week is the Eagles at Washington.
What did we have last week? 12-6 and a monsoon in San Francisco?
Yeah, it was hilarity.
I agree. So, yeah, Eagles-Commanders.
That's the most fun game of the week.
Interesting spot.
I like Washington at home to win this.
Eagles,
really
I
do.
believe, are now at -4.
Well, I got them at 3.5 here, so yeah.
I think I saw 4 this afternoon. I don't know here. You know, the Commanders usually play the Eagles very tough.
I like the Commanders all day long in this game.
Any
I don't
particular
know why.
reason why?
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight to stay in.
Right, and they
Yes.
got to fight to stay in,
They're
and
number 7.
I'm rooting for them because of you, Dave. Because
Don't blame
you
me
said
for any of
no.
this.
I said I'm rooting for them because of you.
Yeah, you called them at the beginning of the year.
I said I'm rooting for them because of you, because you told me in August that they were going to get the 7th seed. So now I'm rooting for them.
That's fine, but I'm not rooting for your predictions to be successful. I am rooting for my predictions to be
Well,
successful.
this was your prediction.
This was
I
your
am well- I
prediction.
am well
what the hell are you
aware.
talking about? I'm rooting. I think the Commanders to win. I think Washington to win.
All right. Me personally, I don't know if I were to bet the game, I'm going to bet the Eagles, but I'm not betting the game. I would look at a first half line and take the Redskins. The Eagles are a notoriously slow starting team. Probably the worst first quarter offense in football.
So you're taking the first half under like
No, I
20
would
and a
take the
half,
Skins.
20 and a half under.
No, I'll take the Skins plus like 1.5,
Oh,
2 in the first half.
okay. So you're not talking about a total in the first
Nope,
half.
just the first half line.
Okay.
And I think with the Eagles and their slow starts, if Washington come out, score early, I mean, I think eventually the Eagles and that offensive line will wear down the Skins, and that obviously their defense is playing at an elite level right now. Their two cornerbacks, DeJean, I think, probably shuts down McLaren. They don't have a lot of other weapons on the outside. So I would look at a first half Redskins bet, and then if I were to bet the game, I think it would be under for the full game. 45.5. I think that's too many right now. You know, does Saquon Barkley play the full game? He got banged up last week. Went into the blue tent. Usually nothing good ever comes out of the blue tent. And he was limping on the sideline. So does Gainwell get more carries this week? And you rest Barkley a little bit? I don't know. So I kind of would lean the under. Dave, your thoughts?
Jaden Daniels.
Well, this is a big.
Jaden Daniels is on the way.
This
He's
is a
on the
big
way.
week
He's
for the
coming
NFC.
in.
This is a big week for the NFC North. Because you
We're
have...
talking NFC East, not NFC North. We're still talking Redskins.
No, I said this is a big week. I was changing the subject.
Well, it's a big week just
you
in the playoff seedings because you
wanna
got
go-
Minnesota, Detroit, and
Yeah.
Philly all battling for the one
You want
seed.
to you want to come talk to me about the beat up Lions and how they're gonna fall off and
No, that
and
wasn't
we're
what-
gonna. And we're gonna oh, we've too many injuries.
All right, we'll get to
Dan-
that, Dave. We'll get to that in 1 second. You have a pick on the Eagles?
That wasn't what I
Commanders?
was going to do at all. Don't be a dick. I was going to sit here and tell you that I got the Lions beating the Bears in Chicago.
All right, hold on.
Hands down.
Let's before we get ahead of ourselves. Do you have a pick on the Eagles, Commanders?
Eagles Commanders, Commanders all day.
Plus the 4. Okay, so 2 Commanders bets.
Yeah.
I'm on Washington first half. So now we'll talk about what's going on, not only in the NFC North, but how it pertains to the Eagles and the number 1 seed. You have 3 teams tied: Detroit, Minnesota, Philly, all 12-2. Detroit has the hardest schedule of all of them.
They do.
At the Bears, at the Niners, home for Minnesota. Philly's got the easiest, where they're at Washington and then Dallas and the Giants at home. That shouldn't even be allowed, but whatever. We'll get to the Lions games, but your thought: who comes out with the number 1 seed, Dave? And take your heart out of it as a Lions fan.
Heart's out of it. Heart's in it. It don't matter to me. They write their own story. They have their pen to paper. The Detroit Lions take the number 1 seed. I'm not saying they're going all the way.
I got
I'm not
you.
saying this or that.
But that answers my question. Tom, who do you got as the number 1 seed?
I said from day one, Lions are going to win the NFC.
So they can win the NFC as a 3?
I like him as the 1 seed.
Okay.
I'm shocked that the Vikings are where they're at.
I am too, and I think they're
I'm
very
totally
suspect.
shocked.
I think they're suspect.
We'll talk about that in 3 weeks when we actually enter.
Well, we'll talk about Minnesota in a minute because they have a rather large game against Seattle this week. I think the Eagles are the best team, not only in the NFC, I think they're the best team in the NFL. I really do. But we'll see. I think Philly pulls the number 1 seed out. It helps that their schedule was a joke. Detroit would have to sweep down the stretch.
I think they do. I think Detroit beats the Bears. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Vikings lose at Seattle this week.
That's already one of my 3 plays this week.
Seattle all day long on that game. I got Seattle all day long.
As long as Geno Smith is healthy. If it's Sam Howell, ain't a chance in hell Seattle gets my money. As long as Geno plays, and he's been practicing, I think he does, because you'll see that line go from 6.5, maybe 7 if it's Sam Howell.
Right.
Because he's god-awful.
He is bad.
And I think Minnesota would have a field day with him just rushing the passer and taking him down.
But to me, those are the 2 most intriguing games of the weekend.
I think Steelers-Ravens is intriguing.
Well,
We'll get to that.
yeah, but I'm talking about just the Browns are out of it for me, so I'm really watching. I'm focusing on the NFC, and I love what I'm seeing in the NFC North.
Dave, I'm assuming you got your Lions winning this week over the Bears at Soldier Field.
Did you not listen to what Dan Campbell said?
Sometimes I have to tune him out. He gets a little much with his rah-rah shit.
Well, okay. Well,
I'm just-
I fully get it, but 11 wins, you're used to eating filet, and you forgot what it was like when you were broke and ate moldy bread and somebody punched you in the mouth. Dan Campbell has his boys ready to fucking run through Chicago. No questions asked. Detroit, despite the injuries, despite this, despite that, we're smoking Chicago this week.
But they win and cover the 7.5.
Yeah, no, they're
that's what I got.
They're just gonna. We lost Gibbs, we lost McNeil, we lost Carlton Davis.
Montgomery's done for the year, isn't he?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we lost Montgomery, Aleem McNeil, and Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
We're walking into Chicago. Chicago's walking into us. Nobody gives a shit. Detroit is running through the goddamn door of that game. You can, if you can actually parlay it to the point that you can double the spread,
You can on certain sites.
We're cut.
So you think they're a large double-digit?
Oh, yeah.
I think the Lions win the game about 31-10.
So I'm not playing this game.
Lions will hang 40 on them.
Well, I don't know about that, but that's a 31-10 football game.
I didn't see that. The elements bother me here when you get a dome team outside and it's going to be blustery cold in Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm
not worried about that.
Yeah, Caleb Williams told his punter he's not going to punt how much?
Yeah.
And the punter's punted more yards than Caleb Williams has thrown. So,
I don't have a play on this game. If I really had to, and I kind of lean this way, especially if you're getting 7.5, I would look at the Bears here, but it's not a play for me.
It's not. Well, it is a play for me. I like the Lions to blow them out.
And
I like Seattle.
We're on Seattle.
I like Seattle to cover that 4.5.
Dave, you're on
Seattle
Seattle.
wins that game.
I think it's still. I saw 3 this afternoon.
Well, I got it at 4.5. It's updated at 4 o'clock today.
Dave, any thoughts on that game, or you don't care?
Seattle. Okay. Who's playing? Is it Gino?
Yeah, if it's Gino,
well,
I like
exactly.
Seattle. I'll take the points at home.
Okay.
Another couple interesting games in the AFC, and it looks like Mahomes is going to play. The Chiefs are at Houston. Now, when this line, if you're somebody that sits and waits for those lines to post on Sunday night, early Monday morning, the Chiefs opened as a 2.5-point dog. Now they're a 3.5-point favorite. So
you got them when you got them, fine. But
yeah, I mean, you could have gotten huge value with Mahomes playing and the Chiefs as a dog.
Yeah.
I can't bet Chiefs games right now because they're just so inconsistent and they don't cover. So
They'll cover that and they'll win that.
They should.
They will.
3.5, but I'm not laying 3.5 on the road.
Yeah, they'll cover and they'll win it. It's not an issue.
Dave?
I don't think it is.
I don't want to buy into certain things. If you're down, you need to make something up. I think it might be time. Kansas City's due.
For the Chiefs to get beat. You're right, and I thought about that.
Kansas City's due.
Yep, I
And
thought
it
about
might
that.
just be the right spot to do it. I wouldn't play it.
Would you, as a head coach, with 3 games remaining, and you're actually, the Bills have the number one, no.
Kansas City has the number 1
Chiefs
seed.
have number 1.
By far.
But a loss would put you tied with the Bills, and the Bills on the tiebreaker off the head-to-head. So, would you rest Mahomes this week with his gimpy ankle?
As a back-to-back Super Bowl winning head coach, you're damn right. I would rest him.
I would. I mean, you sign Carson Wentz. You think he's still got something. I'd start Wentz this week. And then you're talking about they're in a stretch of 3 games in 11 days because they play this Wednesday on Christmas at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So a lot of people saying, do you rest him for 2 games?
Would you rather be Pittsburgh or would you rather be Houston?
They're both leading their divisions, so
You want to beat them both.
yeah.
Do you-
ultimately?
You'd rather beat Pittsburgh.
Do you even give a shit because you are the 2-time defending Super Bowl champion?
2 times.
I'd rather be healthy going
beat
in the
Pittsburgh.
playoffs.
Yep.
as a 2 seed.
No. Yeah, I'd rather go in the playoffs as a 2 seed and
Yeah, knowing what you get.
healthy. Here we go.
You're still going to get 2 home playoff games. And then
Taking
probably
your
have to go to
chances, you
Buffalo.
might get 3.
Yeah, if the Bills lose,
But
you might
taking
play
your
all 3
chances-
in arrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking your chances on a bum ankle early
Yep.
might
No,
knock you out right away.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
So-
I'd rest them this week.
As
And
a,
I think
as a,
about doing
as
it the
a, as a
following week.
play, I'll take Houston because I think it's rest them. This is brass tacks time for the pros, for the top, the cream of the crop.
Yeah, we'll
Can't
see.
disagree.
Yep, we'll see.
Last game, Steelers, Ravens week.
I think Ravens.
Me personally, I hate the stinking Ratbirds,
I think Ravens win that at home.
but the line right now sits at 6.5.
I don't think the Ravens cover, but I think they win.
Tomlin's great as a dog and on the road, and we know Lamar Jackson sucks against Pittsburgh. They're in his head. Having said that, No
As a
Pickens
Steelers
again. No Pickens. As a Steelers fan, I am. I make no bones about it. I was against them last week. I thought the Eagles were going to beat them easy, and they did. And I would lean the same way this week because without Pickens, they can't stretch the field. They can't. They got.
No, they can't.
Jim Morris a diddly poo squat. And Harris is back to his fumbling ways. And if we got no TJ Watt on defense, this is just a good spot for the Ravens, I feel like.
Does the AFC North even, does the, outside of Kansas City, we've listened to Joe Burrow's magnificence in the AFC North.
Yeah.
We've listened to what may or may not happen with the Browns. We've listened to the two-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. And then just the historic Mike Tomlin is like the goddamn Dallas Cowboys. He doesn't have a losing record in 20 years, but he hasn't won a goddamn playoff game, has he?
Not in the last 8.
Not in the last
Exactly.
8. Yep.
So,
Well, since 2017.
my question is, does the AFC North actually matter when it comes to what we're talking about?
You know,
down
funny,
the
like
stretch?
4 years ago, we all talked about that being the best division.
Billion percent.
But that's not.
I even brought it up the beginning of this season. I
But
was
that's
like,
not the
they're
case
just gonna
anymore.
beat the hell out of each other. I was
NFC
like,
North
no.
hands down is the best division.
They're
That's
just
not the case anymore. The NFC North is the best division
Yeah,
in
there's no
football.
doubt. That's not
really,
even an argument.
really. Sam Darnold has changed everybody's goddamn minds compared to Lamar Jackson.
Look, the records don't lie. They're 12-2.
Currently, let's see
The
what
Ravens
happens in a
have
couple
5
years.
losses.
No, that's the best, most competitive division in football.
Current.
Is the NFC North.
Packers are
down.
what, 9-5?
Nah, Packers
10-4.
are no, I'm sorry. 10-3,
No, everybody's played 14 games.
then 11-3. Lions are tied with the Vikings, and the Packers are a game behind.
Okay. Last game I want to touch on. It would be. I think it's a good spot for a teaser if you can find something else to match it up with. But I do think the Ravens beat the Steelers this week.
Yeah, I do too.
Last game, Sunday night, Tampa at Dallas. Bucks are currently sitting as I believe a 4.5 point favorite, and the total sits at 47.5. Bucks coming off what I thought was a must-win and a huge performance last week at San Diego. But Bucks control their destiny. You win at Dallas and you come home for the Saints and Carolina and the Saints, you win a division. So, what do you think?
I like Tampa.
Mike Evans, coming off an injury, only needed 102 yards per game
Yeah, get to
to
1,000.
another 1,000. And he put up
59 last week.
and
Although
two.
Dallas has won, 2 in a row now?
Well, they beat Carolina last week.
Which,
Yeah,
The week before, they
beat Carolina.
muffed the punt and
Yeah.
lost to the Bengals.
Everybody
Then the
loves
week
him off.
before that, they won.
No, the week before that, they blew a game as well. I forget
I
who
thought
was
they had
with.
won 2 in their last 3 or won 2 in a row. But
Tick
Dallas
But they've
was
been playing. Oh no! Well, before that was
Dallas,
Thanksgiving.
Dallas has
Giants.
no chance. Mike Evans, what's he got? 3 games left, so
He should
did
run
100
wild against that.
He did 150. He needed 102. Mike Evans breaks 1,000 yards. Well, no. Mike Evans comes 63 yards short. He puts 200 on Dallas.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And Baker Mayfield. I don't know where he gets the goddamn flag in that stadium. He puts one in the star.
You don't
Does he
do
put
that
a
in the
Bucks
NFL.
flag or does he put an OU flag?
No, he puts a Bucks flag. You don't do that in the NFL. Come on now.
I'm
You
on.
know.
I would side with Tampa here. I'd lay the 4.5.
I like
on the road.
Tampa a lot. I like Tampa
I
a lot.
really
yeah.
like the over.
Dallas got
47.5.
nothing to play for.
Yeah, I think Tampa's going to put up 30.
Yeah, I really like
So
the
we'll see
over
what
here.
Dallas puts up, but I think Tampa puts up 30.
All right, let's get our picks here, guys. We'll start with college. Dave, I'll start with you.
College, said before, I'm going with Signetti. Give me the Hoosiers, because
Okay.
Rudy's full of lies. Penn State, that's a tall order. 9 points. 9 points. James Franklin can't cover 9 points. I don't think James Franklin's covered 9 points in his career. I'm sure he has. I'm full of shit when I say this. I'm just saying it for now. But SMU,
So Indiana, SMU, and who else?
Indiana, SMU, give me Texas to smoke Clemson.
Okay. I can
Rocky
live with
Top, Tennessee.
that. You're taking Tennessee as well.
I'll
so you have 4
take
picks.
Tennessee all day long, baby.
Okay. Tom?
Part
I
of
think
it's
Indiana
hate.
covers. Notre Dame wins. I think Penn State covers. I think Texas blows Clemson out. And I think Tennessee covers, but Ohio State wins on a
So you got 4 picks.
on a
as well.
wacky game. Yeah.
All right. And Ohio, we're going to throw Ohio in there as well?
Oh, my Bobcats? Yes. That's easy. That's easy money.
Okay, so a 5-pack for Tom.
That's easy money tomorrow at noon, guys.
My best bet is going to be the under in the Notre Dame game. Under 52. And if it goes up further, sprinkle a little more on whatever it goes up to. I'm on Tennessee. I'll take the 7. And I'm going to side with SMU and take the 9. And then I'll lay the 9 with the Gators and take the Gators there. So those are our college picks. Tom, I'll revert back to you for the NFL.
Go to Dave with the NFL first.
Dave,
I'm
go
still
Give me
on
Tampa
mine.
and give me Detroit. That's French for Detroit.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that.
Just making sure.
That's
And also, the Commanders.
I love the Commanders.
I think I called them the Redskins several times.
That's
Yeah,
all right. We're
I
not
had
going to
make
make
sure.
Nobody's
Yeah.
upset about that.
No, trust me, I'm not.
I like the Commanders a lot.
Yep.
Love the Commanders a
The
lot.
Commanders, Detroit's coming out.
Gangbusters.
It's not even gangbusters. I don't even know how to describe it.
All right.
Because it's now just been reverted to Detroit versus everybody, and the fact what happened with the Bills to make that a 48-42 loss as a homer showed me so much of the heart of this team.
They did. They
And
hung
now,
in there. They kept clawing back.
hung in here my ass. They were down
They were.
3 tutties. They clawed back, and not for nothing, I hate the new onside rule.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. I don't like the kickoff rule either, but it is what it is.
I love the new kickoff rule. I
They're
hate
just
the-
trying to get people not get hurt in these violent collisions.
That's fine, but you gotta project. Oh no,
Why should I have to announce to anybody my plans for a play?
Exactly.
So I have to tell you I'm running an onside kick on this play? Well,
It's
when are they going to make them? Oh, I'm going to run off tackle sweep here.
Yeah, no, it's 2nd and 4. Are you gonna run the ball, pass the ball, or
Yeah.
are you gonna run play action?
All right.
That little aspect. I'm not blaming Dan. I love Dan. I love Dan for making that call. Even knowing that everybody had to know, and he just said, "I'm making this call.
Screw it, this is what
We're
we're
going."
Yeah.
I hate that the element of surprise got
It's
taken
gone.
away
I
from me.
agree. Tom, go ahead before we turn into all Detroit sports radio.
Like I said, my other one, yeah, no kidding, all Detroit, all Michigan. Like I said, my other pick, I
blue.
love the Bengals just clobbering Cleveland this weekend.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I had 7 for the Bengals at home. That's
Somehow
easy
they're
money.
still alive in the playoff race in the AFC.
They are.
Squeakily.
So those are my 2 in the NFL.
Just 2. Okay. I'm on Seattle. I'll take the 3. Provided Geno Smith's playing, make sure you check the injury reports. If Geno's out, it's no action, but I do believe he plays, so I'll take Seattle. I'll take the Jets. at home against the Rams, Dome Rams team traveling east. 25 degrees at kickoff. Jets are playing better, and I think Sauce Gardner shuts down one of them, whether it's Cup or Nakua. I'll take the Jets. I'll lay the 3.5, whatever that is at home. I'm on the Bucks game. I'm on the under. Or excuse me, the over. 47.5. And I had a fourth one, and I can't remember what the hell. Oh, I don't like laying big numbers, but I will. I'll take the Bills. I'll lay the 14 at home against the Patriots. It might even be 14.5, and I'm not afraid of that. Look at what the Bills do to bad teams.
Wonderful
They
fantasy
beat
football
the hell out of
defense.
Jacksonville by 37 at home. They beat the hell out of Tennessee at home by 24. They beat the hell out of San Francisco at home by 25. I don't see any reason that this week would be any different. Now, that Patriot team, you want to talk about a lack of talent? Outside of maybe Drake May and the kid they drafted out of Oregon, the quarterback, Gonzalez, they got nothing on that team. Absolutely nothing.
Hootie.
It's a long road for them.
Hootie's a hell of a wide receiver.
I'll take the Bills and lay the points there. So that wraps up our show. Again, from the Seabreeze Lounge, as usual, it's the Florida Gambling Boys on YouTube. Hey guys, if you're watching, give us a like, a subscribe. It can be your Christmas present to us. It doesn't cost you anything. We would greatly appreciate it. Helps our channel grow. I hope everybody out there has a wonderful Christmas holiday. And we will see you next Thursday. And we'll recap the college football playoffs, week 17 in the NFL. Coming up ahead. Tom, you got anything else?
Nope. Just happy holidays, guys. Thanks for listening.
Dave?
Hey, rushing yards per average, I think Drake May is behind Michael Vick in his first couple years.
Running
Just,
for
just,
Yeah, no kidding.
That's it.
All
right, guys.
All I got.
Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy
Smoochy
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah,
boochies.
whatever it is. You guys all be safe out there. And tune in next week, Florida Gambling Boys on YouTube. Thanks for watching.